Welcome, dear traveler. Tonight the journey takes you somewhere wide and still, to a lavender farm that sits in a valley between old mountains at the hour when the day has given everything it has and the light has begun its slow and beautiful surrender to the dark. You will smell it before you see it. Something soft and clean and completely unmistakable. The particular scent that belongs to lavender in the last warm hours of the day, when the fields have been holding the sun since morning and are now releasing it back into the cooling air. Slowly, completely, the way everything releases when the day finally lets it go. Subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these peaceful sleep stories. New stories arrive every week, created to help you unwind, forget the worries of the day, and drift into a calm and restful sleep. I'm grateful you chose to spend this quiet time here, and I hope tonight's story brings you comfort and relaxation. Now let everything go, not gradually, all at once. The way the light lets go of the lavender fields at dusk and simply fades. You do not need to hold on to anything from today. The day is behind you now, finished, set down. What remains is only this moment and the one after it, and the soft lavender air that is already waiting for you at the edge of these fields. Find your most comfortable position. Let your body settle completely into whatever holds it. Feel the surface beneath you receiving your full weight without effort. Every part of you moving downward, shoulders dropping, hips releasing, legs heavy, feet still. You do not need to hold yourself up tonight. Everything beneath you is doing that. The surface, the floor, the earth itself, patient and solid and completely reliable, as it has always been, as it will always be. Let your hands rest open, not gripping, not preparing, simply open, the way a lavender field opens toward the evening sky, receiving whatever comes. Let your jaw loosen. Feel the small, tight muscles around your eyes soften. Let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. These small releases matter. Each one creates a little more space, a little more ease, a little more permission for the body to do what it already knows how to do when it is finally allowed. Notice your breathing now. Only notice. Do not change it yet. Simply observe this thing your body has been doing faithfully through every moment of this long day without a single reminder from you. In and out. In and out. Constant. Reliable. Yours. Breathe in now, slowly. Let the air travel all the way down. Feel your chest expand. Feel the space inside you opening like a field, stretching to the horizon under an evening sky. Breathe out, long and complete. Every last measure of breath leaving before the next arrives. In something loosens. Out, something releases. In, the lavender. Fields are already purple in the dusk. Out, the mountains are already dark against the sky. In, the evening is already still. Out, everything else falls away. Your thoughts may still be moving. That is perfectly natural. A mind that has been active all day does not stop immediately. Simply let the thoughts pass through without following them. They are like birds crossing the evening sky. You are the field, wide, still, rooted. The birds pass over and continue on without taking you with them. Each breath slower than the one before. Each exhale more complete. The body recognizing this invitation and responding to it with the gratitude of something that has been waiting all day to be told it is finished, that it can stop, that everything asked of it has been given, and now rest is not only permitted, but necessary, required, deserved. The lavender farm is not far. Down the gentle slope through the old wooden gate and into the fields that stretch from here to the foot of the mountains. The scent already reaching you on the evening air. That soft and unmistakable sweetness that your body receives not just through the nose, but through the whole of itself, through every breath, through the skin, through whatever it is in us that recognizes certain things as good before the mind has had a chance to name them. Dear traveler, there is nothing required of you in these fields tonight. No harvest to bring in. No task waiting at the end of the row. Only the lavender. Only the color of the fields in the last light. Only the sound of the evening birds finding their places in the old trees at the edge of the farm. All of it continuing exactly as it has continued every evening since this farm was first planted, with or without you, and tonight, with you. Breathe in. The lavender is everywhere on the air. Breathe out. The mountains are old and still ahead. Breathe in. The evening is soft and wide and waiting. Breathe out. The path is already beneath your feet. One more slow breath, filling every part of you with this readiness, this opening, this willingness to be carried somewhere soft and wide and deeply restful. And now we begin, quietly, gently, walking into the lavender as the day becomes evening and the evening becomes yours. The day is ending, not abruptly, not all at once. The way days end here, in this valley between old mountains, is slowly, generously, the light withdrawing from the highest things first. The mountain peaks above losing their golden hour before the valley below. Then the upper slopes going gray. Then the tree line. Then the fields themselves. The light descending through the day's last hour, the way water descends, following the shape of things, taking its time, giving everything it passes through one last long look before it goes. You are standing at the edge of the lavender. The path behind you ends here, at the old wooden gate that marks the boundary between the ordinary world and this one. The gate is open. It is always open at this hour. There is nothing in these fields that needs to be kept in or kept out. Simply the lavender. Simply the rose stretching away from you in every direction toward the mountains that ring this valley on all sides. Simply the evening air moving very slowly across the surface of the fields, lifting the scent as it passes and carrying it toward you. The scent reaches you before anything else does. Of course it does. That is the way of lavender. It does not wait to be approached. It sends itself out into the air around it and lets the air carry it wherever the air goes. And the air here in this valley at this hour goes everywhere slowly and completely. It has been moving through these fields since morning, has been receiving what the lavender releases and distributing it across the valley the way a river distributes water, without preference, without direction, simply carrying what it is given to wherever it arrives. And it has arrived here at you. Breathe it in. Not consciously, simply breathe. The lavender will do the rest. It has been doing this for longer than any living memory of this farm reaches, entering the breathing of whoever stands at this edge and working on them the way it has always worked, gently, below the level of awareness, simply present in every breath until it is simply the condition of breathing, until the air itself is lavender and the lavender is the air, and there is no longer any meaningful distinction between the two. Your body already knows this scent, not from this farm necessarily, not from this valley, but from somewhere, some other evening in some other place, when lavender was present and something good was happening, or something difficult was ending, or simply the day was quieting, and the body was being told for the first time, or the 100th time, that this smell means rest. This smell means safe. This smell means the day is behind you, and what is ahead is easier than what you have come through. The fields stretch to the mountains. That is the first thing you see when you look up from the gate, the scale of it. The lavender beginning at your feet and continuing without interruption all the way to where the land begins to rise toward the slopes. Row after row after row, each one a living thing, each one full and heavy with bloom at this time of year, each one the same deep purple as the one beside it, and yet not the same. Each plant its own particular shade, its own particular density of bloom, its own small contribution to the whole that becomes, from where you are standing, simply this. Simply purple, simply the most complete and generous filling of a valley that you have ever seen. The color is extraordinary in this light. The light that remains at this hour is not the direct light of midday, not the sharp, honest light that shows everything exactly as it is. This is the light that is left when the direct light has withdrawn, the ambient light, the light that lives in the air itself after the sun has gone behind the mountains and is neither day nor dark, but something that belongs entirely to dusk, something that makes the lavender more itself than it is in any other light, the purple deeper, the gray-green of the stems more silver, the whole field glowing from within in a way it does not glow at noon or at night. Only now, only at this hour, you walk through the gate and onto the farm path. The earth of the path is warm beneath your feet. It has been receiving the sun since morning and is giving that warmth back now through the soles of your shoes or through your bare feet if you have removed them. The warmth of the earth at the end of a long day is different from the warmth of the sun, less bright, more stored, more patient. The warmth of something that has been receiving energy all day and is now holding it, giving it back slowly, as if the earth knows that the night is coming and is preparing you for it by sharing what it has kept. The lavender rows on either side of the path are taller than your waist. You could reach out and touch them as you walk. The flower heads dense and full, brushing against your hands if you let them, which you do. You let your hands drift to either side as you walk, the flower heads soft against your fingers, the contact releasing more scent, a concentrated burst of lavender wherever your hands brush through the blooms. Not perfume exactly, more immediate than perfume, more alive than perfume. The smell of a living plant giving up its oils to the warmth of your hands without reservation. Your hands carry it now, the scent on your palms and your fingers. Wherever you bring your hands for the rest of this evening, the lavender will be there too. You have been marked by the field, welcomed by it in the only way it knows how to welcome, through scent, through the particular intimacy of a smell that does not stay outside the body, but enters it with every breath and changes the quality of the air inside you from that moment forward. The path curves gently to the right. You follow it without deciding to. The way the path goes is the way you go. There is no other direction in this valley at this hour that means anything. Only forward. Only deeper into the fields. Only toward the mountains that are going darker by the minute at the edge of the valley. Their peaks already the dark blue that mountains turn when the light has left them, and the sky above them is still bright enough to make them a silhouette. The birds are settling. You can hear them in the old trees at the far edge of the farm. The particular sounds of birds finding their places for the night. Not the full song of the day. Something shorter than that. More conversational. One bird calling and another answering, and then a third from further away, and then a brief silence, and then all of them again. The last communication of the day being completed. The last accounting. The last small confirmations between living things that the day has ended safely and the night is about to begin, and everything that needed to happen today has happened. Their sound is the sound of the day closing. You stop walking for a moment and simply listen. The birds in the trees at the field's edge. The very soft sound of the evening air moving through the lavender. The warmth of the path beneath your feet. The scent on every breath. The mountains going dark at the edges of the valley. The sky above still holding light. Pale gold at the horizon where the sun went down. Deepening violet above that. And at the very top of the sky, directly above you, the first color that is truly dark. The first honest darkness of the coming night. And in that darkness above you, the first star, single and faint and absolutely certain of itself in the last light of the dusk. Not the brightest thing in the sky, simply the first. The one that arrives before the others are visible. The one that has been there all along, through the entire afternoon, simply invisible in the brightness, now visible, now present. Burning with the same steady light it burns with at midnight, simply allowed to be seen for the first time tonight. You watch it for a moment. Dear traveler, feel the air around you right now. The temperature has changed since you arrived at the gate. The warmth of the afternoon still present in the earth beneath you, and the air close to the ground. But above that warmth, moving across it, the first coolness of the evening. The particular coolness that comes when the sun is no longer heating the air directly, and the air begins to find its own temperature, which is cooler than the day, always cooler. The cooling that the body receives at the end of a long warm day as permission, as a signal. The day is changing. The night is coming. The world is doing what it does every evening without fail. And you are here for it. Breathe in. The lavender fills you completely. Breathe out. The first star burns steadily above. Breathe in. The birds are finding their rest in the trees. Breathe out. The mountains hold the valley in their stillness. The path continues ahead of you through the darkening fields. The lavender on either side going a deeper purple as the light fades. Still visible, still present, but darker than it was when you entered the gate, more itself. The color that lavender becomes when the day's light is gone, and what remains is simply what the plant is in the dark, which is this deep uncertain purple that needs no sunlight to be completely itself. The old stone farmhouse is visible ahead. At the end of the path, where the fields end and the farm buildings begin, its stone walls gray in the evening light, its windows beginning to glow with the warm amber that means a lamp has been lit inside. The cypress tree beside it, a dark shape against the still bright western sky. The chimney with a thin thread of smoke rising from it and disappearing into the evening air above. Everything ahead is warm. Everything around you is purple and still and fragrant. And the first star above has been joined now by a second, and a third. The night is arriving, gently, without hurry, the way everything good arrives. The path ends at the farmhouse door. Not abruptly. The path does not simply stop. It widens slightly as it approaches the building, the way paths always widen near the places they have been leading to all along. As if the path itself knows where it is going and begins to open in anticipation of the arrival. The packed earth beneath your feet, warmer here than it was in the fields. The ancient stone of the farmhouse wall beside the door still holding the heat of the afternoon sun in its gray surface. You can feel it without touching it. The warmth radiating outward into the cooling evening air. Patient and generous. The stone giving back everything the day put into it. The farmhouse is old. Very old. The kind of old that is visible not in any single detail, but in the accumulation of details. The way the stone of the walls has been worn smooth at the corners by the passage of hands and weather across the centuries. The way the heavy oak door frame has settled slightly to one side. Not broken, simply settled. The way everything settles over a long enough time into a position that is more itself than the position it started in. The way the climbing roses along the front wall have grown so thoroughly into the ancient stone that it is no longer possible to say where the wall ends and the plant begins. They have become each other, as old things do when they have shared the same ground long enough. The lavender smell is stronger here. Beside the farmhouse wall, sheltered from the evening breeze by the building itself, the scent has gathered and concentrated, not moving on through the valley the way it moves in the open fields, simply present, accumulated, the smell of every day this summer that the lavender has been blooming, pressed into this small sheltered space between the ancient wall and the world. You stop for a moment in it. Simply stand in the concentrated sweetness of it and breathe. In. Hold it for just a moment. Out. Something in your shoulders that has been there all day releases with that exhale. Not all of it. Some of it. The first layer. The outermost tension. The one that was closest to the surface and needed only the right breath in the right air to let go. It goes without ceremony, without drama, simply gone the way things go when they are finally given permission. The window beside the door is glowing. Warm candlelight from inside pressing through old hand-blown glass that is uneven, the way all handmade things are uneven. Made by a glassblower generations ago, whose name no one remembers, but whose work still holds. The imperfections in the glass, bending the candlelight that passes through into something warmer and more alive than flat glass would ever allow. The flame of the tallow candle inside old and familiar. Its light not the sharp, cold light of modern things, but the breathing amber warmth of fire. The kind of light that has been welcoming travelers through doorways, like this one since before anyone alive can remember. You push the door open. It moves on iron hinges that have been kept oiled across the generations. The great iron latch cold and heavy in your hand. The door thick oak, dark with age, its surface worn smooth where countless hands have touched it in exactly the place where your hand rests now. The door swings inward with a low soft groan of old wood and old iron. A sound so familiar and so ancient that it is less a sound than a feeling. The feeling of entering, of crossing from outside to inside, from the cooling evening to the warmth that has been building in this room since morning. The warmth receives you immediately, not the warmth of a single flame, the accumulated warmth of an ancient stone building that has been heated through its walls and floor and ceiling across an entire warm day and many hundreds of warm days before it. Warmth that has no single source anymore, because it has become the temperature of the air itself. What the air inside this old farmhouse is. Warm, still, carrying everything the day has deposited in it. The smell of the lavender that has been drying in bundles hung from the ceiling beams since the last harvest. The smell of old stone and ancient wood and tallow smoke and something else beneath all of them. Something that smells like home. Not your home necessarily. Not any specific home. The smell of home itself. The concept of it. The thing that the word points to before the particular memories attached to it. Safety. Enclosure. The smell of a place that has been sheltering people from the outside world for so long that the sheltering itself has become part of what the place smells like. You breathe it in and your body responds before your mind has processed anything. A softening, a releasing. The body knowing what the nose knows before the thinking part of you has had a chance to form a single word about it. The room is simple. One large room. Stone floor worn smooth in the paths between the things it holds. The flagstones pale and cold at the edges, but warm in the center where feet have traveled back and forth across the centuries. A long wooden table along one wall, old and scrubbed pale, a clay jug of fresh lavender at its center. Bundles of dried lavender hanging from the low ceiling beams above. Dozens of them, their flowers deep purple against the dark ancient wood. Their fragrance part of the air of this room, the way the warmth is part of the air. Simply there. Simply the condition of being inside. Shelves along the far wall, holding the work of the farm. Small dark clay bottles of lavender oil, stopped with cork and sealed with wax. paper packets of dried flowers tied with rough homespun string, earthenware pots, wooden tools worn smooth with use, the organized accumulation of a working farm at the end of a good season. Everything in its place, everything done for today. Nothing on those ancient shelves asking anything of anyone at this hour. The work finished, the day finished. The shelves simply holding what they hold as they have always held it. 2 tallow candles burn in the room, one on the long table, one set into an iron holder on the wall, their flames very still in the windless air of the closed room, burning straight up, giving their amber light evenly to every surface around them. The ancient stone walls catching it and holding it in the uneven texture of the old mortar and the rough-hewn blocks. The ceiling beams above, absorbing it into their dark wood and giving back a deep, warm glow. The dried lavender bundles turning from purple to a warmer, darker color in the candlelight. The clay jug on the table casting a soft shadow on the scrubbed wood beside it. Everything in the room touched by these 2 small flames. Everything made warmer and more present by them. You move to the table. Run your hand along its surface as you pass, the wood smooth beneath your palm, worn by generations of use into something that is neither rough nor polished, but simply itself. Simply the surface of a table that has been a table for a very long time and has accepted everything placed upon it and asked for nothing in return. The chair at the end of the table is waiting, old wood darkened by age and use. The seat worn to a slight concavity by the weight of the people who have sat in it across the years and the decades and the generations before you. Its back straight and solid, its legs firmly on the ancient flagstone floor, a simple cushion on the seat, something stitched by hand from rough fabric, something practical and unpretentious and completely sufficient for what a body needs at the end of a long day. You sit down. Feel the cushion beneath you, the old chair accepting your weight without shifting, the table in front of you at exactly the right height, your hands resting on the scrubbed wood, the nearest candle flame very close now, its warmth on your face gentle, its amber light on your hands soft, the lavender smell all around you, from the bundles above and from your own hands that have been through the fields and carry the scent of that passage still. Dear traveler, sit here for a moment. Do not do anything. Do not reach for anything. Do not prepare for anything. Simply sit in this ancient chair, at this old table in this candlelit room, at the end of this lavender farm on this evening, when the day has finished and the night has not yet fully arrived, and everything in this old stone farmhouse is as still and as complete as it has ever been. The candle flames do not move. The dried lavender above does not move. The evening outside has gone very quiet. The birds have found their places in the old trees and are silent now. The lavender fields are still. The mountains at the edge of the valley are dark shapes against a sky that is still faintly lit at its lowest edge, but dark everywhere above. The stars that have been appearing one by one since you first came through the farm gate are now many. Not all of them yet, but many. Each one burning with the same patient certainty as the first. Breathe in. The dried lavender fills the room with its ancient sweetness. Breathe out. The candle flames burn without moving. Breathe in. The old farmhouse holds the warmth of the whole day. Breathe out. The fields outside are still and fragrant in the dark. Your hands are on the table in front of you. Look at them for a moment. The candlelight on them. The lavender still present on your skin from where you walked with your hands open through the rose. These hands that have been working since this morning, that have been doing what hands do through the long hours of a day, holding things, managing things, reaching and releasing and reaching again, all day, every day. They are still now, open on the table, warm in the candlelight, not gripping anything, not preparing for the next thing. Simply hands, simply warm and present and resting on the surface of an ancient table that has been receiving. Hands exactly like these for longer than you can imagine. The clay jug of fresh lavender is just beside your right hand. The flowers still fresh, still carrying their full color, even in the candlelight, still releasing their scent into the air of the room. You did not cut these. Someone cut them for you. Someone knew you were coming tonight and cut fresh lavender from the ancient fields and put it in water in a clay jug and placed it on this table so that when you arrived the room would be ready. The lavender would be here. The candles would be lit. The warmth would be gathered in the old stone walls. Everything prepared. Everything waiting. Everything waiting for you. That is what this ancient farmhouse has been doing all day while the lavender grew in its rows and the sun moved across the valley and the birds sang in the old trees and the mountains held their stillness at the edges of everything, waiting, being ready, holding the warmth and the scent and the candlelight for the moment when you would need them. And you need them now. And they are here. Dear traveler, feel the weight of your body in this old chair. The full, honest weight of a body that has been moving through the world since this morning. All of that weight now resting on this cushion at this ancient table. The chair receiving it without effort. The flagstone floor beneath the chair receiving the chair. The old stone of this farmhouse receiving the floor. Everything held, everything carrying what is placed upon it, without complaint or effort, as it has always done, as it will always do. You are held by the chair, by the ancient farmhouse, by the valley, by the mountains at its edges, by the evening that has been arriving so gently and so completely since you first stepped through the old wooden gate into the lavender. Outside, the stars continue their quiet appearing. Inside, the candles burn their amber flames, and the dried lavender above fills every breath you take with the smell of every good evening this ancient farm has ever held, which is many, which is more than can be counted, and tonight is one of them. The night has come fully now, not with any announcement, not with any single moment you could point to and say that was it. That was when the evening became night. It simply arrived the way it always arrives, gradually, completely, the last light at the horizon gone, while you were sitting at the ancient table and the tallow candles were burning and the dried lavender was releasing its sweetness into the still air of the room. You did not notice the exact moment it happened, and that is right. That is how the best arrivals happen. Not noticed until they are already complete. The world outside the farmhouse window is dark now. Not the dark of an empty place. The dark of a full place that has simply closed its eyes. The lavender fields are still out there. The mountains are still at the edges of the valley. The old trees where the birds settled an hour ago are still standing in their ancient places with their living cargo of sleeping things tucked into the folds of their branches. Everything that was there in the dusk is still there now, simply resting, simply given over to the dark, the way everything gives itself over to the dark when the dark has fully come. The candle flames have not changed. They burn exactly as they burned when you first sat down at this table, straight and still and amber, giving their light to the room with the same faithful consistency they have given it since they were lit from the tinderbox this evening. They do not know that the world outside has gone dark. They simply burn the same flames, the same warmth, the same amber light on the ancient stone walls and the old wooden table, and your hands resting open on the surface in front of you. Your hands are still on the table. You have not moved much since you sat down. The old chair has held you, and the warmth has held the room, and the lavender smell has held the air, and together they have held you here in a stillness that is not the stillness of someone waiting for something, but the stillness of someone who has arrived somewhere and has nothing left to wait for. This stillness, it has been building since you walked through the old farm gate, since the first breath of lavender reached you on the evening air, since your hands brushed through the flower heads in the rows and came away carrying the scent, since you sat in this ancient chair and felt the weight of the day finally and completely received by something other than you. It has been building slowly and without announcement, and now it is complete. The stillness is complete, and you are inside it. The dried lavender above is doing something in this stillness. You become aware of it the way you become aware of things in deep quiet, not suddenly, through a gradual noticing. The smell has changed slightly, or your relationship to it has changed. In the first hour, it was something you were receiving, something arriving from outside you and entering you with each breath. Now it is simply the air. The air itself is lavender. There is no longer a distinction between the smell and the breathing. You are not breathing lavender-scented air. You are breathing air that is lavender, completely, without remainder. Every breath, every part of you, lavender. Dear traveler, close your eyes for a moment, not to sleep, simply to receive what the ancient room is giving you without the effort of seeing. The candle flames become warmth rather than light behind your closed eyelids. Amber there, a soft pulse of it. The warmth of the room more present when the eyes are no longer working. The smell more present. The sound of the flames very faint. The sound of your own breathing. The sound of the deep silence of a valley at night when the birds have finished and the wind has stopped. And the only things moving in the entire ancient landscape are the stars above turning in their slow and timeless way, which you cannot hear, but you know they are there. You have always known they are there. Open your eyes slowly. The room is exactly as it was. The candles, the old table, the dried lavender above, the ancient stone walls warm in the amber light. Nothing has changed, nothing will change. This room has been exactly this way for every night it has existed, and will be exactly this way for every night still to come. The candles will burn until they burn down to their iron holders. The lavender will give its scent until the scent is given. The old stone walls will hold the warmth until the warmth is held. All of it running its faithful course without any assistance from you. You are free to simply be here. Nothing more, nothing less. Simply here in this warm candlelit room at the end of an ancient lavender farm in a valley between old mountains, while the night holds everything outside in its dark and patient arms. Stand now. Slowly, feel the weight of your body as you rise from the old chair. The heaviness of limbs that have been resting in warmth. The looseness of muscles that have been releasing since you first breathed the evening lavender at the farm gate. Your body moving at a different pace than it moved this morning. Slower, more honest, at the pace of what it actually needs, rather than the pace the day required of it. Take the candle from the table, the iron holder warm in your hand, the tallow flame steady even as you lift it, as if it knows you are carrying it now and has adjusted its burning to accommodate the movement. The small amber circle of light moving with you as you cross the ancient flagstone floor toward the door at the far end of the room. There is a door you did not notice when you came in, set into the far wall, lower than the front door, Heavy old oak, like everything in this farmhouse. Its iron latch smaller than the front door latch, but the same dark metal. The same generations of hands having touched it in the same place. It opens inward when you press it with your free hand. Beyond it, a narrow stone passage. The candlelight reaching just to the end of it. Just far enough to show the second door there. The stone of the passage walls close on either side. The ceiling low. The floor, the same ancient flagstone as the main room, but narrower here. The stones more worn in the very center, where feet have traveled back and forth in this exact path for longer than anyone living can trace. The smell changes in the passage, more enclosed than the main room, more concentrated. The lavender still present, but beneath it something else. The deeper smell of ancient stone, of walls that have been standing for centuries upon centuries, and have absorbed into themselves the presence of everyone who has ever passed through this narrow place. Not a heavy smell, not an unpleasant one. The smell of age, of continuity, of a building that has been sheltering people through every season since medieval times and has held every one of them in its stone, the way stone holds everything it is given. You have been sheltered by this place before, not in your body's memory, in something older than that. The part of a person that recognizes certain things without being able to explain the recognition. The part that knows what shelter means before the word existed. This passage, this ancient stone, this smell of centuries of warmth and habitation. Your body moving through it without hesitation toward the door at the end. The second door opens into the sleeping chamber. Small, simple, the ceiling low with dark old beams crossing it. The walls stone like the rest of the ancient farmhouse, but here the stone has been whitewashed at some point long ago. The whitewash worn and faded now, but still present, giving the walls a softness that the gray stone of the main room does not have. A softness that belongs to a chamber made for rest, made specifically for the laying down of whatever is carried and the receiving of whatever the night has to give. The bed is against the far wall. An old wooden frame, dark and solid, the kind of bed that has been made to last and has lasted. The headboard simple. No carving, simply the wood. Simply the frame that has been holding what it holds for, as long as this chamber has been a chamber. A straw and wool mattress, thick enough to have been made with care. Linen sheets cool and smooth, bleached pale from many washings in the farm stream. Woolen blankets folded at the foot, heavy and warm, dyed the color of undyed fleece. A pillow stuffed with dried lavender and wool, its linen cover worn soft from many seasons of use. A pillow that has received many heads across the generations of this ancient farm, and will receive yours tonight with the same uncomplaining patience it has received every head before. A small bunch of fresh lavender on the stone ledge beside the bed. cut from the fields today. The same fields you walked through at dusk. The same flowers you brushed with your hands as you passed through the rows. Here now, in this chamber, brought here by the same ancient hands that lit the tallow candles and placed the clay jug on the table. Someone who knew you are coming. Someone who wanted this old chamber to be ready for you. It is ready. Set the candle in its iron holder on the stone ledge beside the bed, its flame casting its amber light across the whitewashed walls of the small chamber, touching the old wooden bed frame, the pale linen sheets, the fresh lavender beside it, the low beamed ceiling above. Everything in this ancient chamber warmed by it, everything revealed by it as simple and sufficient and completely right for this moment and this night. Sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress receives your weight with a softness that is different from the old chair, more giving, more complete. The kind of softness that does not push back, but simply opens around whatever is placed upon it. The cool linen against the backs of your legs. The smell of the fresh lavender beside you very present, very close. The scent from the small bunch more concentrated than anything you breathed in the fields or in the main room. Intimate, personal, as if this lavender was cut specifically for this small ancient space around this bed where you would be breathing tonight. It was. Lie down now. Let the old mattress receive all of you. Your head on the lavender pillow, the linen cool against the back of your neck, your shoulders meeting the mattress, your spine releasing, your legs heavy, your feet at the end of the bed, every part of you horizontal now, every part of you given over to the surface beneath you, the way the day gives itself over to the night, completely, without reservation, without keeping anything back. Pull the woolen blankets up. Feel their weight settle over you, heavy and warm the way old wool blankets are heavy and warm. The weight that says covered, that says held, that says the ancient night can do whatever it does, and you are inside this, and the inside is warm, and the weight of these blankets is the proof of it. Breathe in. The fresh lavender is right beside you. Breathe out. The tallow candle burns its quiet amber above. Breathe in. The ancient farmhouse holds you in its old stone walls. Breathe out. The lavender fields are still outside in the dark. The mountains are still at the edges of the valley. You cannot see them from here, but you know they are there. You have always known they are there, old and dark and enormous, and completely indifferent to the passage of single nights through the long count of their years. They were there before this ancient farm was planted. They were there before this farmhouse was built stone by stone from the earth below them. They will be there when every lavender plant in every row has been replaced 100 times and 100 times again. They are simply there, as they have always been there, holding the valley, holding the ancient fields, holding this old farmhouse, holding you inside this farmhouse on this night, as they have held everything in this valley through every night of their existence. Patient, enormous, completely reliable. Your eyes are growing heavier. Not suddenly, not with any rush, simply the weight of them increasing slowly the weight of everything in this ancient chamber has been increasing since you arrived. The weight of your body in the old mattress, the weight of the woolen blankets above you, the weight of the lavender smell in every breath, the weight of the deep mountain night pressing gently and warmly from every direction against the ancient stone walls of this old farmhouse. All of it adding its small increment to the heaviness of your eyelids until the heaviness is simply there, simply the condition of this hour, simply what happens when everything that was holding something open finally lets it close. A tallow candle flame at the edge of your vision, amber, still, burning faithfully in its old iron holder. The lavender beside you, the pillow beneath your head, the woolen blankets above you, the ancient night outside, the fields in the dark, the stars above the fields, the old mountains around the stars. And you hear, in the center of all of it, warm and still and breathing lavender in the oldest chamber of an ancient stone farmhouse in a valley that has been growing lavender since the old times when this farm was first planted and the first stone of this house was first laid. Something has shifted, something that was the last remaining wakefulness. The last thin edge of the day still presents somewhere inside you. It is going now, quietly, without a fight. The way the light went from the valley this evening, gradually, completely, leaving something better in its place. The tallow candle is burning lower. You can see it at the edge of your vision without turning your head. The flame the same quality of amber. It has always been, but the tallow nearly spent now. The candle sitting shorter in its old iron holder than it was when you first carried it into this ancient chamber. The wick burning what remains with the same faithful steadiness. It has burned everything before it. Not dimming, not flickering. Simply burning at the level that is honest for what remains, which is less than it was an hour ago, which is still enough, which will be enough for as long as it needs to be. You are lying in the old bed. The wool and straw mattress beneath you has accepted every part of you completely. There is no part of your body that is not received, not held. The mattress simply opens around you and holds the shape of you and gives back warmth wherever you give warmth and asks for nothing. The heavy woolen blankets above you warm with the right kind of warmth. The lavender stuffed pillow beneath your head exactly the right softness. Everything in this ancient bed shaped over generations of use to exactly what a body needs when it has come to the end of a day and a journey and is ready to give itself over. You are ready to give yourself over. The fresh lavender beside you is the last thing you are fully aware of. The small bunch cut from the ancient fields today. Its scent has been with you since you lay down, moving through every breath, working on whatever was still awake in you, the way lavender has always worked since the old times when people first learned what this plant could do for a body that needed rest, not forcing, not demanding, simply present, simply entering you with each slow inhale and going deeper with each one, into the chest, into the body, into whatever it is in a person that is furthest from the surface, that is slowest to release, that needs the most patient and the most consistent tending before it finally gives way. It is giving way now. Dear traveler, feel the full weight of your body right now. All of it. From your head on the old lavender pillow to the weight of your feet beneath the woolen blankets. The full, honest weight of a body that has been in the world all day, that has carried itself through every hour from morning to now. All of that weight given over to the old mattress, to the ancient wooden frame, to the stone floor beneath the frame, to the earth beneath the stone that has been here since before this farmhouse was built stone by stone from the hillside, and will be here long after every stone of it has returned to the earth. Your shoulders are as low as they go. The muscles that hold them up through every waking hour have given up their work so completely that you could not now remember what it felt like to hold them higher. The tension that was in them this morning, that was still in them when you walked through the old farm gate this evening. Gone, not pushed away, simply released. The way tension releases when warmth and ancient scent and stillness and time have worked on it long enough and thoroughly enough that there is nothing left to hold. Your hands are open at your sides, the lavender still on them from the fields, the skin of your palms still carrying the faint trace of the oils from the flower heads when you brushed through the ancient rose, the smell of the old fields on your hands, still present, still part of every breath that reaches your face. The field is here. You brought it with you when you came through the gate this evening, and it has been with you since, on your hands, in your lungs, in the air of this ancient chamber. There is no separation between you and this place, between your breathing and the lavender, between your stillness and the stillness of the valley outside, between the weight of your body in this old bed and the weight of the ancient night over everything. One thing, all of it one thing. The valley outside is completely still. The lavender fields in the dark, row after row of them stretching from the old farm gate to the foot of the mountains. The same rows you walked through at dusk with your hands open and the ancient flower heads, brushing your fingers and the scent rising around you with each step. Those rows are still there, still full of lavender, still releasing into the night air the same sweetness they released into the evening air when you arrived. The fields do not sleep the way you sleep. They simply are. Through the dark hours. Through every night of every season since the first seeds were pressed into this valley's earth in the old times. The lavender standing in its ancient rows and giving its scent to whatever air surrounds it without any awareness of whether it is day or night, or whether anyone is there to receive it. You received it tonight, and it received you. The mountains are keeping watch at the edges of the valley. You knew they were there when you arrived at the old farm gate, and you know they are there now, and in between those two knowings, nothing has changed about them. The same ancient mountains, the same darkness at the edges of the same valley, the same enormous patient presences that have been holding this landscape in its shape since long before the first seed of lavender was ever pressed into this ground, since before the first stone of this farmhouse was laid, since before any human hand ever touched this valley. They do not sleep. They simply hold, as they have held through every night of their ancient existence, every storm and every still night, every season, every year, every generation of people who have come to this valley and planted lavender and built old stone houses and lived and worked, and at the end of each day lay down in beds, exactly like this one, and breathed the lavender air, and felt the mountain night settle over everything, and were held, as you are held. Your breathing has become the breathing of this ancient chamber, long, slow, without effort or direction. Simply the body taking what it needs from the lavender air and returning what it does not need. In and out, the most ancient rhythm of all, the one that started before you were aware of anything and will continue after awareness is gone for the night, already continuing, already running without you. The breath moving in the body, the way the stars move in the sky above this old valley, steadily, without any assistance, without any awareness of themselves, simply moving, simply turning, simply doing what they have always done. Breathe in. The ancient lavender is on every breath. Breathe out. The old fields are still outside in the dark. Breathe in. The mountains hold the valley in their ancient arms. Breathe out. Let the very last of it go now. The tallow candle goes out, quietly, without drama. The tallow finally and completely spent. The flame burning its very last, and then simply not burning. The darkness that follows is not the darkness of something lost. It is the darkness of something completed. The candle gave everything it had, every measure of tallow, every hour of amber light across the ancient stone walls, and the old wooden table and the corridor and this sleeping chamber, and your hands and the lavender beside you. All of it given, nothing held back, nothing remaining. The chamber is dark now, but not empty. The lavender is still here in the dark, its scent unchanged, unchanged by the candle going out, unchanged by the hour, unchanged by anything the night does or does not do. Still the same ancient sweetness it has been since you first breathed it at the farm gate this evening. Still completely present in every breath. Still working. Still reaching into every part of you that was not fully reached before, and finding there something that needed exactly this ancient scent, exactly this old stone dark, exactly this deep mountain stillness. The stars above the valley are extraordinary now. You cannot see them from inside this ancient chamber, but you know they are there. The same stars that were appearing one by one when you walked the farm path at dusk. All of them present now, every one of them burning in the dark sky above this old lavender valley with the same patient certainty they have burned with every clear night above every valley on earth since before this farm existed, since before these mountains had their names, turning slowly in their ancient way, the whole vast turning of them present to no one in this valley at this hour except the mountains and the ancient fields and the lavender standing in its rows, giving its sweetness to the dark beneath them. And you know they are there. You have always known they are there. Dear traveler, you have walked the ancient farm path through the evening lavender. You have pushed open the old wooden gate and let the scent of the fields receive you. You have walked the rows with your hands open and let the ancient flowers mark you with their oils. You have sat at the long table in the candlelit room and felt the weight of the day finally given over to something that could hold it. You have carried the tallow candle through the old stone passage into the sleeping chamber and lain down in the bed that was waiting for you, and let the woolen blanket settle over you, and the ancient lavender work its patient work on the last remaining wakefulness in you. And now you are here, in the dark, in the ancient scent, in the complete and total stillness of a valley that has been growing lavender and sheltering people and being held by old mountains since the earliest times that anyone can reach back to. The lavender fields are outside. The ancient mountains are at their edges. The stars are above the mountains. The old farmhouse holds you beneath the stars. The woolen blankets hold you inside the farmhouse. The ancient lavender holds you inside every breath, and nothing more is needed. Not one thing more. The day is fully gone now. Gone the way the light went from the ancient peaks this evening. Gradually, completely, without leaving anything behind except this warm, dark chamber, this old scent, this stillness, this breathing, this rest that has been coming for you since this morning and has arrived now fully and without condition and is asking nothing of you except to receive it. Receive it. You are already receiving it. You are already there. Sleep now, dear traveler. The ancient lavender will keep its scent through every remaining hour of this old night. The mountains will keep their watch at the edges of the valley as they have kept it since the beginning. The stars will keep their slow and timeless turning above everything. The old farmhouse will keep its warmth in its ancient stone walls. And you are already somewhere the day cannot follow, already deep in the lavender dark, already home. Sleep now. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. Around you, the ancient lavender fields are still and breathing. You are allowed to let go completely. The old mountains are keeping watch. At the edges of the valley. There is no weight left to carry tonight. The ancient farmhouse holds you in its old stone walls. You are safe inside this lavender dark. There is peace in every breath you take. You are enough. You have always been enough. You are loved. You are held. You are home. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. Around you, the ancient lavender fields are still and breathing. You are allowed to let go completely. The old mountains are keeping watch. At the edges of the valley. There is no weight left to carry tonight. The ancient farmhouse holds you in its old stone walls. You are safe inside this lavender dark. There is peace in every breath you take. You are enough. You have always been enough. You are loved. You are held. You are home. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. Around you, the ancient lavender fields are still and breathing. You are allowed to let go completely. The old mountains are keeping watch. At the edges of the valley. There is no weight left to carry tonight. The ancient farmhouse holds you in its old stone walls. You are safe inside this lavender dark. There is peace in every breath you take. You are enough. You have always been enough. You are loved. You are held. You are home. There is nothing more you need to do tonight. Around you, the ancient lavender fields are still and breathing. You are allowed to let go completely. The old mountains are keeping watch. At the edges of the valley. There is no weight left to carry tonight. The ancient farmhouse holds you in its old stone walls. You are safe inside this lavender dark. There is peace in every breath you take. You are enough. You have always been enough. You are loved. You are held. You are home.